Hi, I'm Slavik with iDrinkCoffee.com, and today I'm presenting the Barista Touch Impress. Utilizing its beautiful touchscreen display, the Barista Touch Impress gives you step-by-step instructions on how to prepare different specialty coffee drinks. When you're making the espresso for your drink, the machine provides real-time feedback through the Breville Impress puck system. The machine may ask you to adjust the grind finer or coarser depending on the situation, and it will also autocorrect the dose in order for you to get the optimum experience. In addition to espresso, the Barista Touch Impress also features the auto milk system. And this is an automatic milk frother with a thermometer built in, so you can dial in the temperature that you want, you can dial in how much foam you want, and also new to this particular product is the ability to foam different types of milk. So of course you have your standard dairy, but it also has options for soy, oat, as well as almond milk. To present the Barista Touch Impress, I'm going to make a few different sets of drinks, and I'm going to talk about its features. I'm going to make my standard 2 shots of espresso, but I'm also going to do different milk-based drinks, both with using cow's milk or dairy, but I'm also going to use an almond milk as well and show you how that works. So the first thing that we see when we look at the Barista Touch Impress is that beautiful color touchscreen. And I really think that this is the nicest screen in the industry. I don't think there's another company that has a screen that's quite as nice and quite as intuitive as Breville's. And on the touch screen, we have our menu of drinks. So of course you have your espresso, latte, flat white, cappuccino, Americano, hot chocolate, baby chino, and tea. And we can make any one of these drinks. We just press the button and the machine tells us what to do, which is really one of the great selling features of this product. Up here you have the hopper, and the hopper's got a nice rubber seal on it, so it keeps air out, which is quite cool. That's a 12-ounce hopper, or 340 grams, perfect size, because most bags of specialty coffee, including ours from Escarpment Coffee Roasters, are sold in 12-ounce bags. On the left here, we have Breville's Impress puck system, and what that is, it's an automatic grinder that auto-corrects your dose, and also it's a dynamometric tamper. This cover comes off right here, and this applies 22 pounds of pressure, or 10 kilograms, by pressing that lever down. You can see that action. It's very cool. It's all automated and very easy to use. On the right-hand side here, we have the Milk Wand, that's MILQ, and that's Breville's new technology that allows you to foam different types of milk, including dairy, soy, almond, and oat. Behind the drip tray, we have Breville's clever storage system. You have this little box which you can put your different tools in, like a brush or something like that. It's very neat. It's just behind the drip tray. Breville includes inside the box everything you need to get started in making specialty coffee. They include a 480 milliliter stainless steel jug, and that's the jug I've been using to make the milk-based drinks. It's a nice quality jug. Brushed stainless steel looks good as well. They include both single and double baskets, and both single and double walled. And a double walled basket is basically a pressurized basket. With this machine, if you're using fresh coffee, you shouldn't have to use the double walled baskets. I suggest using the single wall to get the best results, but in order to do that, you need fresh coffee. Also included is the razor precision trimming tool, and that's used sometimes if we have too much coffee. For example, in the portafilter, we want to trim some off. That's what that's for. The machine includes a cleaning disc, a cleaning brush, descaling powder, and a steam wand cleaning tool as well. So the first drink that I'm going to make is a double shot of espresso, or 2 shots of espresso. And to do that, I press the espresso button. And first thing, of course, right in the middle is that a picture of a shot of espresso. And here we just choose whether we're making a single or a double. You press that button there. I have it set, of course, here on the left you have single, but the 2 cups represents a double, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave it where it is. And the grinder is on the left, and at the bottom what we see is the finest setting. So I have a 17, a lower number is finer, higher number is coarser, and next to that is the basket. And again, here you would select whether you're using the single or double basket. You select your filter size. What I have inside there is the double, so I'm going to leave it where it is. So the first step will be to grind our coffee. So we remove our portafilter and insert it onto the left where the grinder is, and you'll see the grinder section light up, and all we have to do is press that button to begin grinding. So the Barista Touch Impress is the first machine that uses burrs that are made by Baratza. So Breville acquired Baratza a couple of years back, and they're utilizing their burr technology in this machine. Those are European-made burrs. Now that the grinding is finished, of course, it changes the display here, and it tells us to tamp the coffee. And this is very cool. The Impress system is an automated tamper. We push that down, and we also get feedback here. So you see that little green line, and the check mark means I have the correct dose. If the dose was low, it would autocorrect the next time, but here it's fine. So I remove my portafilter, it's nicely tamped, put it into the group, and begin extraction. So there's a shot timer as well, so it tells us where we're at. And I feel that that's running actually a little bit fast, so I think that the machine should give us some feedback, probably to make our grind finer. And I was right, it said brewing was too fast, consider decreasing your grind size. So that's that real-time feedback that I mentioned earlier. Although the shot was only 21 seconds, it is a little light in color, so it's probably a little bit under extracted. So since my last 2 shots came out a little bit too quickly, I'm gonna try to do another 2 shots of espresso and adjust the grind finer. So I'm gonna press the espresso button, and I'm gonna go from 17, I'm gonna turn the dial to the finer setting, and you'll see a nice on-screen display. I changed it down just because those 21 seconds, not a huge difference. I'm gonna bring it down to 16 instead. So I bring my portafilter over and begin grinding. Now when you change the grind setting, the machine has to auto-adjust the dose. So it could grind for longer or for shorter. And it asks me to tamp right here, so I tamp. And I got the green check mark, which means the dose is fine. I can extract my coffee. But sometimes what will happen when you adjust the grind, especially when you go finer, it will say that you don't have enough coffee, and it'll tell you to do a bit more. And then again, you grind and you tamp one more time, and it'll give you that feedback to get that dose just right. So I can already see the shot is taking longer. We're already at 25 seconds. So I think this setting will definitely be better. So 34 seconds, we got the check mark. And we have 2 nice shots of espresso. They certainly look better. And I'm gonna give one a try. Yeah, it's a lovely shot of espresso. So now that we have our grind more or less dialed in and our dose, I'm gonna make a milk-based drink. I'm going to choose a flat white for this drink right here, and you'll see the right hand side, the milk side has lit up, and we can change those options now. At the bottom you see 3 different choices for your milk. The first one is temperature. The default is 65 degrees Celsius, which in my opinion is much too hot for cow's milk, for dairy. I'm going to lower it down by 10 degrees to 55 degrees. I just find that milk gives you a much sweeter taste, a better texture when it's not as hot. So I'll save that at 55. The second option is the amount of foam. So this is how foamy we want the milk. 2 is a little bit on the low side for me. I'm actually going to raise this to 4 because I like it just a little bit frothier. So I'm going to put that option to 4. And the last one is the type of milk that we're using. Again, I did say I'm using dairy, so I'm going to leave it at dairy. But I'm also going to show you almond in a short while because I do have some almond milk. But you have those 4 different options there. So I'm actually going to do my coffee first, so it's the same as when we brewed our espresso. I just put my portafilter into the grinder, press the button to grind. Get my check mark, and then I'm going to begin extracting my espresso. Now this is a single boiler or single thermoblock machine, but it has Breville's new thermoblock technology, which changes the temperature very, very quickly. So what I can actually do is I place my pitcher here on the right hand side. I'm going to press the milk button, and as soon as my espresso is done, it's going to start frothing my milk. And you can do that, you just make sure that pitcher is there, of course. And now the auto frothing has begun. So it goes by temperature, and this steam wand really is amazing. It froths to the temperature you set, the amount of air you set. It makes frothing milk, which is something that people have a difficulty maybe mastering, super easy. Okay, now that my milk is done, of course, this is a great reminder to always clean your steam wand. So I lift this off, give my steam wand a nice wipe. And when I put it back in place, it's going to auto purge, which is also a very cool feature, so you don't get any milk stuck inside your wand. And that just happens automatically. For my drink, you can see I've got nice textured milk. And I can pour my flat white and enjoy. It's fantastic, and the milk is just the right temperature. I really like the frothing on this machine. Next, I'd like to try an alternative milk, a nut milk. I have almond here, so I'll just choose for this drink, let's say a cappuccino. And cappuccino is foamier than a flat white, so the setting is set to 6. I'm just going to change the milk setting now from dairy to almond. And automatically, the machine does lower the temperature of the milk when you select almond down to 55, because heating almond milk to 65, it's even worse than heating dairy to 65. It's not going to taste very good. So I'm going to leave that temperature where it's at. And everything else is the same. We just begin making our espresso first, our coffee first. This little device here, that's actually the temperature sensor. So when you put your pitcher down, it's very important that the pitcher sits on that sensor, because that's what senses the heat and allows this machine to function properly. So with my coffee extracting again, I'm going to press the milk button, and it's going to start directly after brewing. It's going to start frothing my almond milk. So that short break, which lasted maybe just a few seconds, that's the thermoblock changing temperature. It's going from espresso temperature to frothing temperature, so it's raising it, of course. Now the 4 different options here, or the alternative options, are of course almond, soy, and oat, but the similar settings should work very well for other nut milks. So if you want to use a macadamia milk, for example, I would use the almond setting. Or if you want to use a different type of grain milk, like let's say rice milk, then I would use the oat setting. Again, I'll just remove this, of course, wipe my wand, and add my milk here. So we have a nice almond milk cappuccino with a nice foamy cap. The next drink that I'm going to make is going to be an Americano, and I wanted to show that because the way this machine makes Americanos is very cool and very convenient. So I press the Americano button, and we have a few different options. On the right-hand side here now we see the water option, and there's only 3 choices: small, medium, or large. I'm going to leave it at small because I have a fairly small cup here, so I'll leave that at small. And again, we come over here to the grinder, grind our coffee first. So I tamp my coffee and put that there. Now, as you know, I like to do my Americanos water first. So I place my cup and I press the water button, and it adds the water to my cup all at really just a touch of a screen. And as soon as that's done, it's going to begin brewing the coffee, which is super cool in my opinion. And you can see the crema resting on the top. We have a beautiful Americano, all at the touch of a single button, really the touch of a screen because that's not a button. But nevertheless, a great cup of coffee that's ready to drink. Okay, so I've made 2 rounds of espressos, 2 different milk-based drinks, but I also want to point out some of the other drinks that this machine has. I'm not going to demonstrate them, but I'll show them to you. There's a hot chocolate option, and what that is, it just gives you instructions on to put kind of powder. It says actually place powder into a mug, texture the milk of your choice, pour into mug, mixing well, and top with marshmallows. So it basically tells you how to make a great hot chocolate, very simple to do. The procedures will be very similar to when we were frothing milk earlier. Another drink here is a baby chino, and a baby chino is basically just frothed milk, and then you can top it off with chocolate powder or whatever you like. And the last option that I will discuss is tea. And the machine is able to dispense water for tea, and you do have different temperature options. So you have, when you press it, you have high or low. They recommend using the high temperature or hotter temperature for black teas and a lower temperature for green teas or lighter teas like a white tea. You can set the different temperatures, and you can also use this machine to make tea. And the final option is milk only if you just want to froth milk for, lots of different reasons. Sometimes I like to have a cup of drip coffee with foamed milk on it. So if you want to just froth milk, you have that option as well. We've been selling espresso machines for a long time at idrinkcoffee.com. And a question that we're asked very frequently is this this comparison between a super automatic machine and a traditional machine. A lot of people like the automation of a super automatic, the ease of use, but they want the better coffee that's associated with a more traditional machine. And that's what the Barista Touch Impress is designed to address. The machine still has the same type of functionality you would have in a traditional espresso machine, but they automate a lot of the functions, make them easier and more approachable, especially if you're new to coffee. The Barista Guidance System gives you the feedback that you need to have the confidence that you're producing exceptional coffee drinks right in the comfort of your own home. I'm really impressed with this machine. I think it's a fantastic choice for people who are on the fence there between super automatic and traditional machine, because they're not sure whether they're going to be able to do all the functions associated with making coffee the traditional way. But the Impress helps automate a lot of that, the milk frothing, the tamping, the dosing, things like that. So it does make it a lot easier. It's a fantastic machine if you're getting interested or if you want to get your feet wet in the world of specialty coffee. If you have any questions about the Barista Touch Impress or any one of our products, please feel free to reach out to idrinkcoffee.com. We're always happy to help. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this about espresso machines, about coffee machines, coffee grinders, everything to do with coffee. Thanks for watching and have a great day.